Hey, lovely people, welcome, family or buddies. Guys, how are you? How was your day? We are glad that you are here at the Collince. I am Shifra Musumba, and this is Reuel Musumba, and Musumba himself is joining us in just a second. So, guys, if it is your first time to be here, welcome, and please consider subscribing. And here we do music, we do a lot of stories, our stories of the journey of life as a couple, as individuals, as fathers, as mothers. Yeah, we share a lot. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are glad that you're here with us.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we apologize for the technical hitch that happened. Technical hitch that happened. And I'm saying that I need to adjust our audio a little. It's a bit loud. Just keep it there as we're waiting.
All right. So, guys, if you had been here and you're here again, we do not take it for granted. We are grateful always for your comeback, and please tag along with friends so that we can help each other grow and share the experiences and have fun. We keep smiling and keep glowing and growing at the same time. Yeah, so that is what we are here to do, and today it's a beautiful.
We asked a question yesterday.
Yes.
And I don't know whether they answered. Have you ever lied to your parents before, or have you found yourself in a situation
where you have
to do an Abrahamic lie? At least for Christians, you know what Abrahamic lie. Abraham lied that
the wife
was
the sister,
was his sister, so that he could save
the sister,
his life, and as well
the life of so that's
sister.
Asinyanganywe. In other words, they shouldn't take the wife. Yeah.
So have you ever been in a situation where you had to lie to your parents? I can see a very good friend of mine is here. Onkoba, thank you for joining. We are happy that you're here. He's saying, "Hey, Mrs. Musumba. Hey, Collince. I was going to complain.
Hi,
how come this greeting is only to you?" And for the other three who have joined us, we're glad that you're here.
Yes.
Today we want to talk about
how we broke the news to our parents that we were actually getting married, or we are actually in a relationship to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is usually hard, especially for the ladies. I don't know, maybe the ladies here or those that are joining us could tell us. Maybe you have a sister who told you to tell your father or mother about their relationship.
Growing up in an African setup, let alone having parents who seem like they just retired from the army, is something just different. Probably the people who are watching from another continent would have a different
kind of perception or view on the same matter. But I mean, in Africa, I think everything is just meant to be holy until you reach the time when you're supposed to get married. Now everything becomes holier than holy, like you have to be very careful. They used to tell us that the name of Jesus is not just spoken anyhow. You have to be in a particular position, take particular gestures for you to be able to mention.
I'm not sure whether our audio is okay. Please, if you're watching, kindly tell us whether our audio is okay.
Yeah.
If you can hear us well, is our audio okay? Is it too loud so that we can be able to reduce? Because I'm seeing some red line over there. Is our audio okay? Kindly tell us, is our audio okay? I can see this name is hard. Tet Mugweru.
We're glad that you're here. We are so glad.
We are happy that you joined us.
Yes, you brought joy and the smile that
this is a new member to our family.
We are glad. We are glad. By the way, there are people that have not known Tet. Tet is on YouTube as well, known as the Right Hand Lady. So you guys can go there and check out on her videos. She's a very beautiful soul, her and the husband. So yeah, you guys, we have a connection of friends from around. And before I forget, there are people that I needed to congratulate with the people that are here. The cooking nurse, got a beautiful bundle of joy, a baby
Hallelujah.
girl, like
People have been working hard while you're sleeping. We want to thank God for the bundle
yes,
of
and my
blessings.
sister somewhere there back at home. I know she's going to watch this someday. Beth, I'm so delighted, and God is indeed powerful, and we are. I was
Talking about
overjoyed.
sisters, and we are still waiting for some of you to join us. And if
And
you have
tell
joined,
us,
kindly
yeah,
tell us
tell
if
us
the audio
about
is
the audio.
okay. Talking about sisters, there's a video we did about our first wedding night. I think I should read that comment. Your sister made a comment that just left me dying of laughter. Where is that comment? Where is that comment? If you've just joined, welcome, and kindly tell us whether our audio is
It's
okay.
We are
Is it
almost
too loud?
kicking
Is
into
it
the topic
soft?
that brought us here.
Yes, we want to talk about
give you the topic when you can hear us clear, sound and clear. Yeah,
sound and clear. That's what she said.
sound and clear.
This is what happens when you go to village schools.
Group of schools. Group of schools.
What was the name of your primary school?
Mbara
Your first
SD,
primary school.
Mbara SDH
You have-
has always been.
You have been in 5 primary schools.
Mbara I think 5.
Say the truth.
I have only been in
They will
2.
still like you.
I've only been in 2 primary schools and 1 secondary school for the whole of my life.
So you have talked about Mbarara. What was the name of the other one?
Ishaka.
Did you hear those names? Anyway. So the sister made a comment, actually her elder sister. And I'm saying this with a lot of humility. Naweza ongea vibaya niongezewe mahali. The sister-in-law commented on a video that we did about our first wedding night, and this is what she said, and I quote, "My mom would ask me, did Shifra call you? If you're new here, Shifra is my wife. And I would say no. Then she told me, call her and talk to her. She knows nothing. She's 0 mileage. She knows nothing." And then I asked mom, why don't you do so? And then she said, I can't. You just call her and talk to her. So thank you to all those who have joined.
Yeah.
That comment really
It left him laughing. I don't know why.
So if you have just joined, we want to talk about our experience during the time when we were opening up to our parents about our relationship. Ted Mugweri is saying, Uncle na Auntie wa Nairobi say hi to baby. Baby say hi to Uncle and Auntie wa Nairobi. Baby says hi he says hi as well. You happy?
He's dancing, so he's happy.
On my side, I think I have always been closer to my mother than my father.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with what they say, oh, boy,
The
children.
it is there. Somehow it's there.
Is it your story? You are going to
You
tell us
can
your
give
story.
us your view.
It's nothing to do with what they say that boy children are naturally attached to their mothers, like my son, and girl children are attached to their father, like you and your father. My father was, how do I call him? If you've met him, you may not accept what I'm telling you because his image outside was so good. My father is a good father. That one must attest.
Yes.
But he just fell short in terms of height to join the military. And as I said, not as a cadet, but as a commander, as a general. My father was tough. Strict.
That's like
Tyrant. Every other synonym that you can find that goes with
strictness.
a strict. And his strictness.
Straight to principle.
His strictness was not about, Daddy, usifanye hivyo. Oh, unacheza na TV.
Bandika.
Unacheza na TV. Usiangushe. Hey. My father was another business. My mother was also she used to game, but she was not like my father. My father was, how do I put it? My mother was merciful. Let me put it that way. I remember actually one time, because of the threat of being told that I was going to be caned of what I had done, I had actually, okay, this will be a story for another day. Because of that threat, I actually thought of committing suicide. Anyway, it is
suicide month. So
suicide month.
Yes, we are celebrating. We are sensitizing people about suicide. So if you didn't know, we are
So you're teaching people 1,000 ways to die.
no, we are telling them it is not worth it.
Anyway,
Yes.
I learned myself that it was not worth it. But we'll tell that story another day. So because of all those reasons and many others, I found myself closer to my mother than my father. So even when it came to time for me to open up about our relationship, it was easier for me to go to my mother. And the time that I decided that I want to talk to my mother about this relationship, it was never planned. I think it was just circumstances that led to that time. Because that year, I don't remember the year. Let's call it the year of our Lord.
2017, I think.
Yes. Of course, you're better with time, and for you, it's engraved in your mind. So that time, my mother had been sick, and that time, my mother was sick, and she underwent a major surgery. And definitely, because my wife was in Kampala, by then my girlfriend, the only way we could be able to communicate was by phone, message, and stuff like that. So talking to her about the condition of my mother and explaining, I think it kept you on your toes.
Yeah, I was so worried. Every time my husband my boyfriend could mention about mom, it's like as though something was crashing in his heart. It was heavy. It was a heavy feeling. And I just decided, why don't I go? Why don't I go and meet mom and say hello to mom and see how she's doing, or maybe give some reassurance, that she will be fine.
So she was equally worried, but it does not necessarily. They had never met under a circumstance that she's the girlfriend to my mother.
Yeah.
So when she told me she wants to come, definitely this meant I have to talk to my mother that someone is coming, and this person who is coming is a special person to me. And two, because you were in school, I had to look for fare. By the way, umekula fare sana. Umekula fare. So I told my mother, and for me, I didn't go around the bush. On 5 days from now, a lady is going to come called Shifra. Shifra is a very good friend of mine, whom we've gotten to love each other, and we're actually in a relationship. And I will bring her over to visit. But how did you now tell your people, considering that they had no clue about our relationship, and now you have to cross over? This is not like moving from Kampala to Jinja or moving from Nakuru to Nairobi.
No, let me tell you guys.
And you're still under
the umbrella of
your parents.
My parents,
yes.
Yeah. Like, one thing that was of an advantage to me is that I was in school, and Kampala and Mitoma or Ishaka is very far, like 6 hours away. So I was in school, and then it's not like I was going to call them and ask them, oh, I need fare to go to Kenya. So it was to my advantage that you could provide, and I'm glad. I say that with humility.
Ukijua mawe zenye nilikunja hapa na kupikia watu gizeni ndio pesa. I was just starting to hustle.
So guys, this is what I did. I definitely couldn't tell my mother or my father that I'm going to Kenya on grounds of visiting a man they have never met. Okay, my mother and actually my father had ever met you at close distance, but they had not interacted with you at the level of you're in a relationship with me.
Because we were not in a relationship by then.
Yes. And then now they knew you as your father's name. Like, even when they would be talking about you, because I think you're funny to them somehow, you are always having a sense of humor. So they had to fall in love with, because my parents love humor a lot. So they fell in love with that. And even when they would keep on referring to you, they would refer to you
by father's name.
By your father's name.
Okay.
So I remember the first time I talked to my mom and I actually did tell her I think I left my phone on, like the screenshot could is it called the wallpaper or the home wallpaper.
Ushamba inakufuata. So,
Guys, I left it on intentionally on a photo that we were seated together. I think
we were not sitting together. Nilikuwa nimekushika vizuri.
Yeah. I think he was cuddling me from behind and I was looking at him intimately, obviously. So I left it on intention that my mother could see it. So she came and was like, they can't have it. I said, let me see what is going on here. And then, oh, good to remember. I'm like, that's my father-in-law's name. So he's like, isn't this Collince? She's like, isn't this Collince? And I'm like, yes, it is him. Then, you are making me excited at this moment. So when was this and where was this? So that time we talked about it casually. So by the way, Mom, this is my boyfriend and I like him. Then she's like, you are just wasting time. Boo, you are wasting time.
You're wasting time.
You're wasting time. Kenyan. Just wasting time. You know, like obviously there is those notions that parents have. Or I need you to get a partner. This is my wish for you to get a partner from your own tribe so that you don't have the clashes. They have their own reasons as to why they would want that.
So what got into your mind that time when now you had to come over this side in relation to talking to your parents?
Since I had never sat them down and said it is serious, I'm actually pondering on getting married to Collince. There is no way I would bump into them in a notice of 1-2 days and then I'm like, I'm going to Kenya. There is no way I would have done that. So what I did, I called my elder sister Daphne, the one that gave us that comment, and I called my following brother, the one who follows me, my follower. My follower.
And what was the reaction from your? Who did you call first?
I called my sister first, definitely, and told her I'm going to visit Collince because she knew him. She knew we were in a relationship. We are that tight and close to each other. So we know about each other's secrets. And I had told her, I'm going to Kenya, but Mom doesn't know, and so does Dad. And then she's like, oh, Bara too, you take care of yourself and keep safe. Me, I have no problem. Then I'm like, now to the grave with that secret, To the grave with the secret. Then she's like, make sure that your phone is always on. I'm like, it's fine, I'll do that. Then, when I talked to my brother Sabit, he was very concerned. Why are you going over there like a protective brother? You know what I'm talking about, Why are you going over there?
And even I'm wondering, because this guy was a very good friend of mine, considering that we started together, we were even singing together.
Where are you going to do that? So, like, he told me, anything could happen. Now, what if something wrong happens when you are over there? How will it happen? Me, you would rather make these things so open to Mom and Dad so that we do not have cases to talk. Like, guys, this was just informing you. I am going, that is the truth. I'm not going to cancel my trip, but thank you for the concern. So he was like, it's fine, but take care. And next time you think of telling Mom and Dad about this, because me, I'm not going to hide for you for forever. I'm not going to do this kind of stupid stuff anymore. I'm like, my young brother is growing nuts. So I'm like, it's fine. Then I traveled. Now, from Uganda to this side, to Nakuru, where we are, is 12 hours. So I used to like traveling at night because it's peaceful and you get time to have the journey enjoyable. So when I reached Busia, where the Busia border, that's where the portal that we used. I was told, first of all, I did not have a passport. Second, I did not have a national ID. I just had my student ID and a document that showed I had registered for a national ID, because that is the only reason as to why. By the way, that was the only reason as to why I registered for a national ID. I had
So
never
that you
thought
could come and
about,
see your plane.
you know. So I reached
But wacha
there.
nikwambie wewe uko na ushamba sana. You know, during your travel here, you see the way you could be expecting someone and they don't know where they're going. You could be asking on phone, where have you reached? What are you seeing? I'm seeing trees. Ninaona M-Pesa.
Wait, unachoka. So Macklin is saying, greetings to grandson. We are glad that you are here. And we miss you too, Abasa Macklin. So I was telling you guys, when I reached there, I made a mess. Instead of exiting Uganda and getting to the Kenyan side, me, I exited Uganda
And went to Tanzania.
and I did not get permitted to enter in Kenya. And since I was following people that were going, like there's nobody telling you the procedure or this.
I think you're talking about
at the border.
At the border, that time you're supposed to, when you come from Uganda,
you're supposed to
they stamp
exit
that
here.
you've exited.
Then they stamp that you have entered Kenya.
Yeah.
Now me, I did not enter Kenya. I just
Ushamba.
My friend, so I came, and when I came over this side, my husband told me on this date, I think it was a Wednesday, we will go home. We will go home, and I want you to meet mom and dad. That was the beginning of my tension. My tension. I think I had it become a nightmare for those days before we went.
But psychologically, you were prepared that you were going
I
to
knew,
meet them.
I knew that I would meet
And you
them.
knew they were wonderful people.
Yes, but there was this tension that I couldn't avoid. Like I always felt like, how will they receive me? What is their perception about me? Will they like me? Like there were a lot of things going on.
One thing that I really didn't like, there's a way you people do your things in Uganda. When you meet a person who is elderly, you go down.
My husband actually
and
told me,
completely.
Can you imagine, like ladies out there that are from my culture, the Ugandan culture? There is even, I think even here in Kenya.
No, it's not there.
There are people that.
No.
There is no way
have you seen one?
There is no way you can greet
you wait.
Do we
wait. Do we kneel down here in Kenya when we are greeting a person who is elderly? We only kneel to God here. Anyway.
Well, he told me, when you go home, please do not kneel. And I told him there is no way that
we had agreed that
there is no way we could agree to that. There is no way we could agree to that, because there is no way I would have stood to greet my father-in-law or my mother-in-law.
Can you hear that madness, my people?
There is no way. The people that I am considering to become my father and mother-in-law, I'm going there. Hey, how do you even stand? How do you? Guys,
so we left this place. We left this place around what?
We left at around. It was coming to lunchtime. It was coming to lunchtime. I think we left at around 11. Obviously, he took me around the places that No, we actually didn't leave at 11. We left earlier. I think we were tagging along with Ladu. And then we went around the place.
Ladu is the friend of mine who saved me from a breakup with this lady.
So we went around the places. We were to meet him somewhere, and then we found ourselves touring. He had planned that he makes me go through the places he has been ever since.
At least somebody needs to know
your roots,
so that they don't expect heavens when they are coming here to help you bunch up.
So we go to his school, we go to where they used to live. Like we had like a trip, his church, his school, and then when it was clocking around midday, we got our friend Ladu and we went. home.
Yes, we went home. Mom was happy, let me tell you.
Guys,
I think as you're speaking, I should be sharing those photos.
I think my mother, yes, you could.
Could you hold it?
My mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, I prefer calling her that. My mother-in-law, even when she was very sick, because I can say very sick, a person who has just gone through. Hello, yes, thank you so much, Ruben. Can you say hello to yourself? Thank you. So I was telling you guys, when Riwel wants me to talk on phone, and Riwel, I'm talking to people here on camera. Is that going to be fine with you? So guys, don't mind him a lot. That is him in his happy moods. So when we reached there, I found Mom had prepared like food. Like it was like as though they were expecting an MP, to come and see them. Like I found my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my aunties the aunties to my husband, the cousin, the cousin, I was wondering. I thought I was just coming to see my parents-in-law, like my immediate parents-in-law, and my friend. It was shock on you. There were very many people there. Actually, they were calling even their friends. Guys, come and see what I was. Of course, I couldn't understand anything they were saying because they were speaking in Kiswahili. By then, I was so blue, not even green, blue about Kiswahili. So when I reached like this, obviously I found Mom when he went ahead of me. So nilikuwa namsukuma. I was just pushing him to go ahead of us. And then when he reached and he was like, Mom, hodi hodi. And then my mother-in-law got out and then hugged me. Now that hug made me feel like, okay, this is home. Because I think she just saved herself from the knees. She gave me a big hug. She told me, I'm glad to see you, happy to see you, my daughter. And I'm like, Kumbe, the introductions are already done. Then we obviously.
Did you expect that now when you come and I take you there after I say, huh?
I expected anything. To be honest, I expected anything. So.
I've heard of stories where.
You have orange.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
I've heard of stories where you are taking your girl to your family the first time. They have never seen her. They have never probably heard of her. And because it's an ambush, and some parents have 0 children. When the lady will have come in and they feel like they don't appreciate probably sura inakaa sijui aje, anakula sijui aje, and then they will tell the boy, so ulijambia huku kwote. Not that thing of calling you outside, but at least I think it's better you prepare your
the parents.
Don't just ambush them with someone. These surprises, just do them in town.
So guys, when they received us now in the house, Dad came and obviously he phoned me when I had already sat down. So when he came in, I went on my knees and said hello to Dad, and then he was resisting for me to go on my knees, but he accepted that to happen. And then
he didn't accept, you just went down on your knees.
He accepted, because he would have told me, stand up or something like that, but he accepted me to become who I am. And then we had a prayer, and then they brought our aunties, the aunties to my husband came, and they said hi. Meanwhile, they were preparing food. They were preparing to serve food because it was already ready. So they served food. I can't forget that first meal. It was. My mother-in-law is a very perfect cook. I appreciate her. So she prepared fish. I had never eaten fish that tasted that way. It was so nice. And then ugali, and then I think there was some boga, and I ate. I ate by the way, with me, food and me. We are friends like this, eh? Even when I'm at my in-laws' place, I eat. So, guys, when now the time of the conversations came and stuff like that. Obviously, most of it was in Kiswahili, but they would throw in the English for me. And then they asked me, "So how are you doing? How are the parents at home?" And I'm like, "They are fine." "Oh, do they know that you are here?" And then my husband quickly said, "Yeah, yeah, they do, because she's here on placement."
Let me tell you.
His story is also supposed to be hard.
Let me tell you. There are circumstances where you'll just find yourself having a quick fix. You know, now they're asking how it's dad and mom at home.
Do they know that you are here?
I thought, now what do we say? Do we,
Imagine we had never thought of this moment. Like, we didn't think this moment will have to happen.
why would they be concerned about your parents?
Quickly. I don't know where my husband got this very thing.
Was it me?
Yes, you were very quick to it. I was wondering, see, actually, she's on her way to Nairobi because there is the placement. She's on attachment or internship of their school. She studies midwifery, and the midwives of her school have been sent to Nairobi. I don't know whether you mentioned Aga Khan or some hospital that was. My friend, I was left with no option but to say exactly. That is it. Then obviously we talked, and then he was like, Sasa, dad and mom, the truth is that she will have to be leaving. Her bus is supposed to be at 4. So by 4, she will be leaving so that the rest of the group can go with her. Definitely, we had some very fun moments, but there was a nervous moment for me. Like during that time of catching up, my feet were literally shaking. My whole body was shaking until my father actually told my husband. Now me, I'm getting to be told this later. Real well. So you give me the chance to talk. So guys, like this time, my father-in-law, I think he got concerned because he saw me literally shaking, and then he told my husband. I think he didn't even use Kiswahili; he used Kimaragoli that time. My husband is Luyan. So he used Kimaragoli and told my husband to take me and show me the washrooms. I mean, I am new in this place and it seems like I want to help myself, but I cannot talk to anyone to take me there. Guys, anyway, so my mother called me outside. I remember before we left, and when we were being pushed.
As you were leaving,
yes,
when they were spotting her.
Yeah.
No, this Ugandan English. Pushing.
Oh yeah, sorry. We use that. So when we were being escorted to go back now to so that he can take me to the bus park where my colleagues were in courts. My mother-in-law whispered and said, "Can I talk to you?" And then I'm like, "It's fine, mom." And then she's like, in this family, I am the only girl. I still remember the way she was saying it. She was so weak, but she still had a smile on her face. And she's like, in this family, I am the only girl. Now I am glad that you're coming so that we can become 2 girls. And please keep that relationship, like sustain it, maintain it. Let the devil not enter into it. I really like the way you guys are doing it, and God is going to be faithful. Just be patient with my son. I know because you have loved him, I really respect your opinion, and I want you to continue keeping that relationship.
You're even blushing.
I was like, I am the queen of the jungle. You guys, I was very excited that my mother-in-law is very welcoming. She has opened up her heart to take me in. And it was very humbling because I really didn't expect it that much. You know why? Because the notion that is there about
Mother-in-law.
mothers-in-law, yeah. So I was wondering what my experience would be like, you know.
Mm.
Even though I
What
had
is the
met-
worst experience you've had of mothers-in-law in brief?
in brief of what mothers-in-law can tell you, you need to cook from your place. Like when you come to my home, do not cook here. And when you cook, everything you cook will be criticized. Oh, from the onions to the tomatoes to the soup. Like those are the things that people go through, unfortunately. I don't know, sometimes maybe it's because of the ladies, the young ladies in the homes, or the other way around. I don't know. But people have faced that. So I was worried. I was very worried about how they would perceive me. Now, I don't know how you came out now to tell them that we want to get married, because that day me, I did not hear you say it.
I think by that time we had been dating for about
Five, five,
5 years.
yes.
About 5 years. Yeah, we dated for 5 years.
Yes.
So, and all through our relationship, we knew that someday
Yes.
we will get married. We really wanted to get married, but we didn't know when.
When we actually did not plan that in the year of 2029, 2019 or 2020
We'll get
or
married.
whichever year.
But
we
let me
get
tell you,
married.
I was tired of those trips, you know, and also the long distance relationship. It's just something else. You know, a relationship on phone with different timings because of the work kind of work you were
Yeah.
doing. To be sincere, I was tired. I was tired. So, and we knew what would end all these things
Would
is
be marriage, definitely.
finding the right time for us to push this relationship
to a next level.
the next level.
Yeah.
But of course, there are a lot of fears. We are low on finances.
Yeah. I mean, school.
You are remaining with months.
Yeah, I was remaining with like a full semester
Yeah,
to finish.
to finish. So I say we had not, of course, talked about when to get married, but we had talked throughout our relationship about us wanting to get married. So I said, I think before we, and that was before we left home.
Yes.
While we were still there, I told mom and dad, this is the lady that I have loved, and I said that when she comes here, even with the shortest time possible that she has there, considering that you are going for
Attachment.
and I have seen it important that I introduce her to you. She's the lady that, God willing, these were the words, God willing, I would want to spend the rest of my life with. You know? And I think considering the fact that I had never brought any other lady at home, let alone even bringing a lady, I think my parents, my father started thinking I have a problem. They had never seen me with that lady. So having that at the back of your mind, I think that it made them take it so serious. Yeah. And just like that,
that is how you told them
that's how I told them. And for me, I think it was easy.
It was easy. Now coming to my side, my friend, when we came back from home, definitely I did not go back to Nairobi like he had made our parents believe.
Do you have to repeat that thing? You took part in the lie, so
guys, we came over, and I think that the following day was Friday. On Saturday, I met your friend.
But you see, before that, I had told you
that
me, I'm tired of these trips.
Yeah, you had told me that I should. That's a lie. So you had told me to tell my parents, and I told them. I told them once. I actually sat them down and told them, Mom and Dad, I actually left school and went purposely to talk to them. And then they were like, "Oh, you have something to say?" Then I was like, "Yes. I have
And I
a
think that
man.
is after you had left here the first time.
I have a man who loves me and would love to marry me and would love to come. We
Well,
are in
did
a
you say
serious
it
relationship.
as fluent and calm as you're saying it now?
Definitely.
Ama ulipiga mahesabu, aya, ningoje wakule? Ama ningoje kama wameamuka?
Actually, that was the first time. Now the second time, because that one my dad was like, okay, we have had you. They didn't even communicate. They said, we have had you. We will discuss. Let us discuss about this with your mother, and then we'll get back to you.
And
I waited for
I
that to
kept
get
on
back to me.
asking. I kept on asking, huh? What did they say?
My friend, they get back to me. They never did.
Let me
They
tell you
never
one.
did. It's like
Some,
after they had that story and they're like, there are some children that you just have to pump sense into.
some of the fears that I've had in my life, two of the biggest ones are one,
Rejection.
rejection from the person that I love, and two, people of this person that I love. So when you accepted me, my first fear had gone away. But now here I was dying to know, will these people accept me? Or will they say, na wewe kwani ulikuwa unaangalia wapi?
My friend, so the next time I go home, after I had left now their home and gone back, I went back that Saturday before I went back. I was sat down with Ladu and another friend of ours, Dan. And then they were like, Shifra, we have heard from our brother that she has always told you about how
You just call me Shif.
that
And you wanted to just pass like that.
English came by the waters and the fishes do not know it. So I was saying, they told me that they had heard from their brother that I had been expressed to his love
And my intention.
the intention to get married to me. So they have waited for quite a long time. It's time to make this known to my parents and give me a way forward of whether to go on with the relationship or find a way out. And then I'm like, it is this serious. So they were like, there is no way you will keep on pushing this. Definitely, ultimately, it will come to pass. Trust me, I had gathered all my energy the first time. Now, gathering it for the second time to go and talk to your parents is very tricky. But then they gassed me up and jetted me back to Uganda. And when I reached Uganda, I think I reached like today at school, picked my bag that same day to Mitoma.
And even before you tell us what the reaction of your parents were or was when you told them the second time, I've just remembered something. I think your mother used to suspect
that we are in a relationship.
No, not in a relationship.
That I'm here in Kenya.
That used to leave the country. By the way, you left like how many times? I think 3.
Five.
5 times?
Yes.
Okay. But you girl, I have lied to my parents once. You?
Me, I lied all the while. I like things you do when you love somebody. So this time.
You wait, there's a lie you made that I can never forget. You used to have a very close friend at school.
Yes, Caroline. I love you so much, sister.
And your parents used to know her as your close friend. So whenever they couldn't find you,
they would call her. And this is the deal we had struck with Caroline and Rukundo.
You were studying with her in that hospital,
whatever. Yeah, we were in the same midwifery class. So I would tell Caroline and Rukundo and tell them, when mom calls you or dad calls you, tell them I'm at ward. I am working either day or night, according to whichever time they call you. And guys, it's used to haunt me, but for the love of love, I was like, we will sort ourselves when I'm back in Uganda. Guys, my mother, it's like as though, like the things they say about ladies having the sick instinct or something like that. I think my mother has 17. Because the moment I am on a bus coming to Kenya, that is the time she will decide to call me.
Mm.
The moment I have arrived like this, yes, I was calling you to check on you. The moment,
By then, those times, you
man,
could, when,
how?
when you could see that
You
call,
know,
it's like the world was coming to an end.
I would tell him,
You would
please,
shake.
please tell all your
And
students to nyamazisha pianos.
I'm wondering, honey, are you ashamed of me?
Guys, it was very, very dramatic, but we don't encourage yeah, we do not encourage lying to your parents. It is not a good thing. It's not a good idea. Yeah, we did it, and when we look back, we are like.
By then, I don't.
By the way, we unlied these things because I think on my graduation, that's when we told Wakina mom.
Yes.
And mom now, because my mom came, my mother-in-law came to my graduation, and then my parents were there.
Is this sign language you're doing? What is that?
Is mannerism. So they were there, and we had to spill the beans. We told them of all this, so they know, and we apologized that time. Yeah, so we are not encouraging any of you to lie. Mm-mm. Tell us those crazy things that you've done. Some of them you are ashamed of them. Others you just look back and
But
laugh at it.
I think also this goes back to how close parents are
With their
children
Yeah. And
to the
what
extent that
extent, yeah.
they can allow the children feel at a safe space to be open about it.
About everything. You know,
Yes.
there are some things that our parents cannot easily discuss with us because of, I don't know, maybe the age gap. Or I don't know. Maybe there is a barrier as to why maybe they do not engage in such discussions. Yeah, but that was that. And the second time I went home, that I went on a Friday. And I was to talk to them that Friday.
After we had pumped you,
Yes,
I
was
you need to
having
find
that.
out what their reaction is.
I chickened out, my friend.
And this time it was not about telling them that we just want to get married. It was we had told you we want to come home.
Yes. Now
No,
this is the time.
you don't see the pressure on
The
my end.
the need to,
So ikabidi niambie marafiki zangu, my friends, so that they could pump you.
Guys, so I went there and I reached on Friday. I was supposed to talk to them on Friday. I did not. I talked to them on Saturday night after church. We sat in our...
We sued.
We sat in our sitting room from the time after supper. That is, supper usually comes at 9 back at home. So from 9 up to 3 a.m., we were discussing how I am going to get married.
Even audit reports they don't do for that long.
Hey, my friend, I was questioned. Now, you say to this man, I'm like, he's the same one. He has not changed. The man I talked about. Who is he? Collince Msumba. Where is he from? He's from Kenya. Which tribe? Have you known his people? Have you ever been there? Definitely, there was no more lying. I was like, yes, I have been there. I have been there.
Baby,
How?
you told them at that time?
Yes. They were like, how? Did you go alone? Or you went with someone? I was like, I went alone. It is me who wanted to know the place. Hello. I'm like, I went there and I have been there not only once, not twice. Yeah, I have been there.
Where
How
have you
many
been sleeping?
times? 3 times. I told them 3. Guys, they questioned me. They wanted to know what tribe, what culture, are they Adventist? For how long have we known each other? How on earth? I remember
up to 3 a.m.
I remember my father asking me, now, Shifra, what do you want to do to us? In all the many in this Uganda you have seen there is nobody that fits you. I'm like, no, Dad.
You want to go to where if we send you matoke, by the time
it reaches, it is ripe. Like, those were their concerns. So I'm like, Dad, it's not that I've looked through men. Men are the ones who looked for me. But the one I found that I love, that my heart settled for, comes from Kenya. And just like the Bible says, your people shall be my people. I am willing. And then my dad is like, you are willing. Now for you have even not yet finished school. And you're already thinking about marriage. You see, like you're having forward. Or just no way to make it. I'm like, it is becoming tougher. Have you discussed matters of dowry? Does he know our culture?
Who are on that table?
Me, mom, and dad, period. But it had to take that long. Guys, we talked for those hours until 3 a.m. That is when we went to sleep. After that, they had told me, now it is fine. Talk to him and tell him this is the dowry that, because they asked me how much is the dowry that he is willing to bring. And then I told them, according to the way I see the man I love, or my man, this is the dowry X. And they were like, okay, tell him this is what we require of him. And when do they want to come, you said? And then like, this was in September. And then I was like, in December. They want to come on the 23rd of December.
Was it September really?
Yes, that was the time I went home.
Yeah, by that we quite serious.
It was September 23rd December. These people came over home.
That was good for another day.
Yeah. So guys, that is how I broke. It was tenseful for me. It took me hours to convince my parents that I'm getting married. And it seems like they had not even actually woken up from the dream until they actually saw things. Like the days are falling forward. And me, I'm ready to leave them. And it was emotional to them.
And then definitely after this, we had the period now. We had to come to the realization that now whatever we asked for
it is
here, and there are requirements that we need to meet.
That is, I think we should post here.
We could have this the next day.
Yeah.
This should be on Saturday evening.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We are glad that you were here. Tell us, if you're already married, how did you open up to your parents? If you're not yet married,
how do you plan to?
How free are you with your parents?
How do you plan to? You know, like some of you might write it in a letter. There is one who wrote it in a letter addressed to the parents. Daddy and mom, I have a man. Dear dad, mom, I have a man who is coming home on this day.
So make sure you stay here. We are going to tell you all. We are going to walk you through our journey up to the time we are old and God decides.
My friend, Sharia house was very terrible for us.
We will tell them that story. And we'll even tell them about dowry issues and your very serious culture. But then let me tell you, before even you leave, there's a wedding I went to play piano. They had contracted me to play for them piano. So when it reached the time for the parents to the bride to say something, the father went forward, and because they were Anglicans, they sang Tukutendereza Yesu mwana wendiga Omusai kukunanzinda Kweraza Mulokozi. So by the time that song, they sang like twice, and then the guy was already on the podium. So, we expect these normal things. We are very happy that...
thank you, people, for coming.
Thank you for loving our daughter.
And respecting her.
Hey, my friend, the statement that came, I felt like going under the piano. He said, we have loved this boy. And even you have understood his state, we even didn't ask him for dowry. I think we stop here.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. I don't know if
you have not subscribed, kindly do. Let us hit this goal of ours, 2K people. We can make it. We are already at 1,300. So guys, push us. Yeah, push us. See you next time and bye. Bye.